What's up everybody on YouTube, AJ Russ back here with another video, and today we'll be discussing the trade between the Philadelphia 76ers and the Brooklyn Nets that took James Harden to Philadelphia and Ben Simmons to the Brooklyn Nets. Let's get it. Alright guys, so first off, I want to say I apologize for not posting for the past few weeks. I've been busy with school, just trying to get locked in on that, you know what I'm saying? So, my bad for not posting, but definitely expect 2 videos per week now. I'm just trying to get acclimated with this new semester and everything, but we good now for sure. So, anyways, you know, there's been a lot going on right now. It's a great time in sports right now. It's February, the second week of February. We got the Super Bowl coming. Stay tuned for some videos on that for sure. And also, we got the NBA trade deadline that just took place, and there was a lot that went on yesterday. In a couple of days, I plan to post a video basically covering the whole trade deadline, all the deals that took place, how it's basically changing the league. But today specifically, I want to talk about the 76ers and Nets trade, because that's going to play a huge role in how the Eastern Conference playoffs will shape off, and the seedings and standing and all those things. So with that being said, let's go and talk about this trade. So guys, for the past few weeks, we have been hearing a lot of rumors about potentially James Harden wanting out. Really last year, before James Harden was traded to the Brooklyn Nets, there was murmurings about him potentially being traded from Houston to Philadelphia, but that ultimately didn't go through, and he ended up getting traded for the Nets. Traded to the Nets, and that was crazy. That was a crazy deal for sure. I mean, in concept, looking at it, the big three, the Nets big three with Kyrie, KD, and James Harden only played 16 total games together, and they went 13-3. You would think that's super good, like only losing 3 games out of 16 games, but health, all those things took place. Kyrie Irving still being unvaccinated, playing only half the games, not being able to play home games. Pretty sure that played a huge factor in James Harden wanting out, because I mean, it just seemed like he probably felt like he was carrying all the load and all those things like that. But I mean, I don't know about that. It's crazy that he requested a trade 2 years in a row. Just thinking about it, I mean, obviously James Harden, he's a great player, one of the greatest scorers, I'd say, of all time, one of the greatest guards of all time. But it's just sometimes, like, I don't know, it seems like he's not all into it. I mean, personally, for me, I'm a Houston Rockets fan, so I mean, he has some great seasons here for sure. But I mean, how he left, and then a couple of game 7s and stuff like that, like against the Warriors, and then against the Spurs in a second round a few years ago, like, just sometimes it doesn't seem like he wants it as much. So it's I don't know, it's a crazy thing to see for sure. I'll talk about James Harden a little bit more in a few, but also I want to talk about Ben Simmons, because that situation has been crazy too. Just basically since last year, since the 76ers lost to the Atlanta Hawks in the Eastern Conference semifinals, you know, Ben Simmons basically, he said he didn't want to play there no more. I mean, Doc Rivers, he said that he didn't know if Ben Simmons was a championship point guard, and I guess just all of that and a lot of other things led to Ben Simmons wanting out. So I mean, this is a great case scenario for him, I think, because I mean, I think he'll provide a lot of opportunities for Kyrie Irving, because I mean, Ben Simmons, even though he can't shoot, he can literally do everything else at a high level. He's been like, what, a 2 or 3 time All-Star. Like, I mean, he's a great defender. He was almost Defensive Player of the Year last year. So I mean, I think, in my opinion, Ben Simmons, he's really going to make a huge impact for KD and Kyrie, just giving them a lot of open shots. I mean, of course, defenses and defenders aren't going to respect his shot, so they're going to back off of that. But I mean, he's still a great playmaker, and he's still very athletic and does everything. So I think, if anything, in my opinion, what's it called? The Nets, they received Ben Simmons, they received Andre Drummond, and they got 2 first-round picks and Seth Curry. Seth Curry is huge. I mean, he's a Curry. Like, he can shoot. He's a Curry. So I mean, anytime you get a Curry, I feel like you're winning for sure. So I think Nets, they got a lot, and then the 76ers, they got James Harden, and they got James Harden and someone else, I can't think of it right now, but James Harden and Paul Millsap. So I mean, I don't know. I feel like the Nets, they definitely got a lot from this trade. Now, this is going to be different because, you know, the seeding and everything with the playoffs right now, we don't know potentially if they'll be able to match up in the playoffs, but that would be amazing. Everyone would pay to see the 76ers and Nets play in the playoffs, especially now, because yesterday there was an all-star draft for the team captains for Kevin Durant and LeBron, and Kevin Durant completely avoided picking James Harden, basically.
For sure. Yeah. I'm going to need some size and you know, some defense in the interior.
Yeah.
Especially with Giannis and LeBron James playing such great basketball this year. I need somebody to offset that, so I'm going to go with Rudy Gobert.
I agree.
That worked out nicely for you.
That worked out nicely. I mean, he can't let people run through the lane and dunk all the time. Got somebody defending back there.
Hey, chess, not checkers. Hey, when somebody want out, you let them go. Don't let them come back. I'm with you, KD.
That's why I cut my hair off. I was like, I'm gone.
So it seems like the Nets and Sixers may have like a little rivalry brewing. So that'll be dope to see. I mean, hopefully they can match up in the playoffs at some sort. I know the Nets just lost their 10th game in a row, but I'm pretty sure that'll change once Ben Simmons joins the lineup. I don't think he'll probably be back till after the All-Star break. But I mean, with Kyrie only being able to play away games, I mean, you can only do so much. But Ben Simmons and KD, they're probably going to return around sometime after the All-Star break. So I think that's going to make a huge difference and they'll make a push going into the playoffs. So that'll be good for them. And then the 76ers, talking about them, like talking about James Harden and Joel Embiid, I definitely think that pick and roll with James Harden and Joel Embiid definitely going to be tough. Shoot. Joel Embiid, he's the leading scorer right now as a big man in 2022 in the NBA. Like, that's insane. He's averaging just shy under 30 points per game, 29 points per game, basically. Right now, in my opinion, he's an MVP candidate because where would the Sixers be without him? And then they got Tyrese Maxey. He's playing really good. And Matisse Thybulle. It's a huge thing that they were able to keep Matisse Thybulle from that trade because he is definitely one of the best defenders in the league. Like, he is locked down for sure. So I mean, that was huge. So I mean, the Sixers, they definitely have a lot of good key pieces as well. And it's for them now, it's championship or bust. I mean, you got James Harden, he's 32 years old. I think he turns 33 this upcoming August. So I mean, you got him and Joel Embiid. I mean, it's time. You never know. Right now, Joel Embiid, he's having a great season and he's been relatively healthy. Thank God, knock on wood. And hopefully nothing else happens with that. But right now, it's championship or nothing. I mean, so yeah, I mean, that's a perspective for the 76ers, I think, going in. So I'm definitely interested and intrigued to see how this deal is going to play out for the rest of the season. I mean, right now, I'd say, in my opinion, like, I'll probably predict, like, the Heat to come out of the East, either the Heat or the Bucks. Potentially, the Cavs are a sleeper team, too. They're really good. And they just got Karis LeVert, too. And they got Darius Garland who's an all-star right now. So, hey, I don't know. But the Eastern Conference, they have a lot of talent. Like, if you lose, like, 2 games, you can go from, like, 2nd to the 6th or 7th seed. Like, the Eastern Conference is so freaking stacked right now. So, it's insane. I mean, the Western Conference is stacked as well, of course, always. But, I mean, it's crazy. So, now the 76ers and the Nets making a move together, having Ben Simmons on the Nets and now James Harden on the Sixers. I mean, we're going to see what happens for sure. It's really different because both of those teams are in the same division too. So like them trading with each other, really that's weird. You typically don't do something like that in the NBA or NFL, trading to like potentially one of your rivals. But I mean, hey, we're gonna see how it goes. In my opinion, I definitely, undoubtedly think that the Nets want to trade. I mean, bro, you got, like I said earlier, you got Seth Curry. He's a knockdown shooter. Of course, he's a Curry. Then you got Andre Drummond. He's helping you in the paint because the Nets defense and their interior protection for big has been suspect since last year, basically. And then you got Ben Simmons who can create and play make. All he can't do is shoot, basically, and he's a lockdown defender as well. And then you got KD and Kyrie. I mean, hopefully you got Joe Harris coming back in the lineup, who's a knockdown shooter for sure. So hey, like, I'm telling you, I think the Nets won this trade. The 76ers are definitely great with James Harden. He's only averaging 22, 10, and 8, only averaging, which is still great numbers. Lowest points per game since I think his 2nd or 3rd year. But I mean, they still have James Harden. I feel like he's going to be more motivated to play with Joel Embiid in the Sixers. So we'll see definitely what happens. I'm definitely excited for this trade and definitely excited for the future and the rest of the season, for the 2022 season. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this trade. Like I said, in my opinion, I think the Nets won it, but I mean, that's just my opinion. You could obviously think the 76ers won, or you could think that it was an equal payoff. But hey, I think it's really good for the league. So hey, I'm excited, like I said before. I appreciate y'all watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at SwaggyWorld. Stay tuned for more videos. Like I said, I'm hoping to post 2 videos per week. Promise on that. I want to do that for sure. Stay consistent. My bad for the little delay, but I'm back for sure. Stay tuned for more sports videos, more pop culture videos, and lifestyle videos in general. I'm planning to post, like I said, hopefully a deadline video in a few days covering the whole deadline, all the deals that was done basically, and how the perspective of the league and the shifting of the league will change. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I appreciate y'all watching. Stay blessed. Keep it easy. Stay safe this weekend and just have a good one. Appreciate y'all watching.